the world awoke to shocking news. Pope Francis, the 266th leader of the Catholic Church, died at the age of 88. His passing sent shockwaves across the globe, marking the end of an era. This was not just the passing of a religious leader, but a figure of immense global influence. His absence leaves a void on the world stage.
Millions mourn a man who championed the poor and brought a message of compassion. But his death also stirs unease. What does it mean for the future? For the Church? For the world?
Jorge Mario Bergoglio, who would become known to the world as Pope Francis, ascended to the papacy in 2013, following the historic resignation of Pope Benedict XVI. His election was met with both surprise and excitement, as the world watched history unfold from the heart of the Vatican. For many, it was a moment that signaled change, a new chapter for the Catholic Church filled with hope and uncertainty. He was a man of firsts, the first Jesuit pope, bringing the unique perspective, intellectual rigor, and values of the Jesuit order to the highest office in the Catholic Church. The Jesuits, known for their commitment to education, social justice, and missionary work, had never before seen one of their own rise to the papacy, making his election truly groundbreaking. He was also the first pope ever chosen from South America, hailing from Argentina, a region long underrepresented in Vatican leadership. His roots in Buenos Aires shaped his worldview, grounding him in the realities of poverty, inequality, and the vibrant faith of Latin America. And perhaps most significantly, he was the first pontiff from the global south, symbolizing a dramatic shift in the Church's focus toward the developing world and its diverse peoples. His election was celebrated across continents, as millions saw in him a leader who understood their struggles and aspirations.
Known as the People's Pope, Francis captivated the world with his humility, warmth, and approachability, quickly earning admiration from Catholics and non-Catholics alike. He chose to live simply, eschewing many of the traditional trappings of papal life, and made it clear that he wished to be close to ordinary people. He washed the feet of prisoners, embraced the marginalized, and made it his mission to reach out to those on the fringes of society. These gestures, both symbolic and deeply personal, resonated with people around the world, reinforcing his message of mercy and inclusion. He spoke out boldly against economic inequality, calling for justice and compassion for the poor and vulnerable. Francis challenged global leaders to address the root causes of poverty, urging a more equitable distribution of resources and opportunities.
Francis became a global voice for environmental protection, urging world leaders to take action on climate change and care for our common home. His encyclical, Laudato Si', called for a new sense of responsibility toward the planet, inspiring millions to reflect on their relationship with nature. He shocked traditionalists by opening dialogues on controversial issues like homosexuality and divorce, encouraging compassion and understanding even in the face of criticism. Francis insisted that the Church must be a place of welcome, not judgment, and that its doors should remain open to all.
Yet, his papacy wasn't without its storms. Francis often found himself navigating turbulent waters as he tried to balance centuries-old tradition with urgent calls for reform. The tension between progress and preservation became a defining feature of his leadership. Critics accused him of straying too far from church doctrine, arguing that his progressive stances risked dividing the faithful. Debates raged within the church, with some seeing him as a visionary, while others viewed him as a threat to established beliefs. His handling of sexual abuse scandals within the church drew criticism, with many demanding greater accountability and transparency. Despite his efforts to address these crises, some felt that change was too slow and that justice remained elusive for victims, as did his controversial agreement with China on the appointment of bishops, which sparked debate about religious freedom and the future of Catholicism in the region. Through it all, Pope Francis remained a figure of contrasts, both a reformer and a traditionalist, a symbol of hope and a lightning rod for controversy, shaping the Church in ways that will be felt for generations to come. Pope Francis was more than a religious leader. He was a global figure whose words and actions inspired hope and dialogue across divides. He urged peace in conflict zones, challenged world leaders on justice and climate, and built bridges with other faiths. Now, with his passing, the world feels the loss of a unique voice for peace and justice. The Church faces deep divisions and uncertainty about its future. The next pope must unite a divided church and guide it through a changing world, where moral leadership is needed more than ever. With the passing of Pope Francis, ancient prophecies echo louder than ever before. For centuries, in moments of uncertainty and upheaval, people have turned to cryptic texts and mysterious predictions, searching for meaning and guidance in the unknown. The Book of Revelation speaks of 7 kings, often interpreted as the last 7 popes, each one seen as a step closer to the end of an era, and perhaps the dawn of something new.
In 2 Thessalonians, the text describes a mysterious restrainer whose removal brings chaos, a force holding back disorder and darkness, a concept that has fueled speculation for generations. The prophecy of the popes, attributed to Saint Malachi, lists 112 popes, ending with the enigmatic figure known as Peter the Roman, who is said to guide the faithful through tribulation. Many believe Francis is this final pope, standing at the threshold between prophecy and reality, his papacy marking a pivotal moment in history. These interpretations reveal not only the deep unease but also the enduring fascination that prophecy inspires, especially in times when the future feels uncertain and the world seems poised for change.
The world now waits with bated breath, as history stands on the edge of a new chapter. In the Sistine Chapel, cardinals will soon gather in solemn conclave to elect a new pope, a new shepherd for the world's 1.3 billion Catholics, each hoping for guidance and unity in uncertain times.
Will they choose a traditionalist, someone who clings to the old ways and doctrines, or perhaps a reformer, eager to bring change and address the challenges of the modern world? Or maybe someone who embraces a more apocalyptic vision, prepared to confront the crises facing the church and humanity? The stakes are, well, incredibly high. The decision will shape not just the church, but the world at large.
The church stands at a crossroads, and its direction will have profound consequences for millions, influencing faith, politics, and even global culture. Pope Francis's death is a global event, sending shockwaves far beyond the Vatican walls. It marks not only the end of a papacy, but, potentially the beginning of a new era. One that's pretty fraught with uncertainty, hope, and the possibility of transformation.
As the world mourns, it also watches and waits, searching for signs of what's to come. What will this new era bring? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the eyes of the world are on Rome. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring videos and updates on this historic moment.